personal development and coaching does not work. And I don't mean to say that it doesn't work in and of itself, but I feel you have to have a few other qualities and values that you have to have in order for personal development and coaching to work for you. I say this because I've spent years and literally decades since the early 90s on personal development. And I started off with one of my first personal development books and ideas that I was learning from Anthony Robbins back when he was using Anthony Robbins. Today he's using, as you probably all know, Tony Robbins as his branding, but it was back in the early 90s when also I think the internet was just about starting at that point in time. And I know there's a lot of you that weren't even born during that time. So we had to use books and mail order, which is pretty crazy. But the point is, I wasted all that time, dozens and dozens of years, trying to get personal development. And I've also had some coaching that just didn't work. And it's because of a few things that I'm going to mention here. One of them is you have to have thinking and reflection time. If you don't have thinking and reflection time on what you're learning, then you're just inputting, and you're never really assimilating, learning, embodying what's most important and taking action on some of these concepts that you're learning. Another area is to specifically tailor it to what's going to work for you, because I generically got these concepts and all this great stuff and I felt good at the time, but I never specifically said, man, how's this going to work in my schedule? Am I going to take action and create new habits? Am I going to do this in the morning time? Am I going to read? Am I going to exercise? Whatever it is, or build new business early in the morning time before I get up? Or am I going to do this during my lunchtime? Or am I going to do it after work? Or am I going to do it during work if it has to do with a business activity? I never really thought about that and took the time to really think and see, hey, will that make sense for me? Because some of these things I just assumed I was going to do, and then I planned after work. Hey, I'm going to start creating some of these habits after work. Of course, I didn't filter in that, wow, I'm married, I have 3 kids, I'm tired, I have to eat dinner, all this stuff, I want to relax at night. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I wasted a lot of time just not specifically tailoring it to myself. Another area is really embodying that concept, those strategies, those personal development tips, and saying, what do I want to take action on? What do I want to be committed to myself? What do I want to be responsible for? Because nobody is responsible for my success. And I hate to tell you this, but nobody is responsible for your success. I've seen so many people, adults, young kids who have been in the right environment, had the right mentoring, teaching, coaching, everything, but because of their mindset and them not being dedicated or committed to their own success, have failed miserably, and then they get out of the whole game of personal development. It's like, oh, it just doesn't work. It doesn't work. Nobody helped me succeed, and they never take full responsibility. So it's huge to take responsibility. Also, I know that with the experiences I've had with coaching and personal development, you really have to find somebody who's going to also help you become accountable. Because you can be accountable to yourself, but realize that, and what I found and what many studies have shown is that people are more accountable when they have some other person. Yes, an app can work, but I feel a person, a real person, is going to keep you more accountable if you're checking up on a weekly basis, on a day-to-day basis, whatever it is. And just those little check-ins are going to create more, because people tend to do more for other people than we do for ourselves. So my question to you is, what experiences have you had with personal development and coaching?